So the topic we're doing today, living with abusive parents. Now, your parents, you don't choose your parents. You know, you wasn't born asking God, like, hey, I want to be with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't choose your parents. When it comes to living with abusive parents, right? So abuse comes in different forms: physical, emotional, mental, verbal. Now, a lot of parents will deny that they abuse you if it's like everything but physical. That's the worst of it all, to be honest, because it seems like they could take stabs at your character every day, all day, and then hide behind they're your parent and you're being sensitive, or there's kids who have it worse. And that may be the case, but you don't go around hurting people and saying that there's people who have it worse, because obviously there's always going to be somebody who has it worse. Same thing when the civil rights activists are fighting for their rights. They're not saying this other marginalized group of people have it worse than us, so let's not fight for our rights. That's what basically, like, I feel like parenting sounds like these days. And it's like, sometimes it's going to feel like you're trapped in that situation, because you might be financially dependent on your parent, or you might just live under their household and can't afford to move right now. What I am going to tell you though is, if you're 16 and up, start saving. If you're 16 and you're still in high school, wait till you finish high school, but start saving during high school, and then try to figure out some of your goals. You're not going to get all your goals for what you want to do out the way while you're in high school. It's just not gonna happen. You really have to become like some type of soldier. Like, think about it as a mission of how to survive within this household. What stuff are you going to block out? What stuff are you going to respond to? And what stuff is just like not needed for a response? Like, if you have a parent who's constantly calling you out your name, whether that's a bitch, whether that's a hoe, selfish, ungrateful, whatever the words that are meant to cause you some type of harm, I would say, in a sense, just think about it as that's how they feel about themselves. Because honestly, like, how can you look at your child, something that you brought into this world, and, you know, say these things? I think that most of the time that they're projecting their own feelings onto you. Now, one thing you could also do is, if there's something that you're not doing around the house, start doing stuff that they would normally complain about before they ask you to do anything. That's one thing I would say, right? But the thing about that is that if you live with an abusive parent, they're going to complain either way. You could do as much as you want and contribute as much as you want within that household, but if you live with a parent who's unhappy with their lives, they're going to pick on you. Like, your parents, most of the time, is your biggest bullies. You just have to save. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, you know, stay in your house as long as you can, da-da-da. But it's easy for them to say when they're living in functional homes. A peace of mind is something that you would never want to take advantage of, or it's something that can never be replaced. A peace of mind is what you aiming for in this life. To enjoy your space, to live in the moment, to be happy in the moment. But you can't be happy when someone who birthed you is willing to cause harm to you physically, mentally, emotionally, and using their rage to confront you with stuff that they're mad at. You can't control that, and you can't control them. And so a lot of times what ends up happening is you're trying to fight them and tell them, express to them how they're wrong for treating you this way, what they could have done to made it better, and you waste your time doing that. And if you already had that conversation, then that's one thing, but you don't want to fight to continue to have those type of conversations when they're not hearing you. Now, some parents would be against doing family therapy, but I would suggest to just bring that up to the table to see if they're willing to do something like that. Right now it'd probably be tough because it's virtual, and I don't know how family therapy would work virtually. So just bring that to the table. The only thing you could work on is loving yourself. I know it sucks that you can't get the type of love that you want from your parents, but the love that you could get from yourself and from God is the only love that you really need out here. If you love yourself enough to know that you deserve love, and that you deserve kindness, and that you deserve people who know how to treat you, then you're set. You're set. So what I would say, as I said again, is set a goal. Set a goal for when you want to leave, and then take flight. Save up as much as you can, and then you head out. Because there's no way to actually confront an abusive parent. without causing more confliction within the house. And that's where you need to be at the moment if you do not have the money to just up and leave. You need to be there. So put on your soldier gear and push through. I'm sorry that you have to stay as long as you have to focus on what you got to focus on and be consistent with your life. So I wish you all the best. I know you're fighting for more than I could even think of at the moment, or more than I even talked about during this discussion, and it's a battle. Trust me, I know. But just keep fighting.